This is Rogers TV.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Out of the Fog. I'm your host, Laurabel. On today's episode, I am joined by two amazing powerhouse women. I get the chance to sit down and talk with Ester Osei-Nkansah, who is one of the co-founders of the Racialized Graduate Student Collective at Memorial University. And then I get the chance to talk to Roxana Fazli, who is one of the co-founders of the Expertise Hub, which is out of Memorial. Sit down, relax, and join us for some really insightful conversations. Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by Ester Osei-Nkansah, who is one of the co-founders of the Graduate Student Collective at Memorial University. Esther, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Laurabel, for having me here.
I'm so excited to have you here because we were connected by a mutual friend of ours, Arif, and who was talking about this movement that had started part of the graduate student community. And I want our viewers who don't know what it is to find out a little bit more.
Right. Thank you. The Racialized Graduate Student Collective for the Faculty of Education is an inclusive and vibrant community for racialized graduate students within the faculty. It's creating support, sharing experiences, and having students who usually wouldn't have that community or have that space to come together to just be themselves, to share experiences, and also share resources through their personal and academic journey.
So for the viewers who might be watching, who might be like, okay, so why did this even start? Why was there a need for this? What was it from your personal experience that made you want to start this community?
We realized being an international student and one from a racialized group can be very daunting. Leaving your home country, traveling, coming to a new place, and being more or less a stranger and having to find out where everything is and find your space within the community can be a lot to take in. And having to navigate that personally alone, it can be hard. So we decided to come together as a group, create this safe space for racialized students, especially international racialized students, where they can find that community, where they know that people understand how they're feeling, what they are going through, some of the resources that can help, navigate their way through, and resources being personal and academic resources, just to help through their journey. So that's the reason why we decided to start this collective.
So as you started the collective, what was it like for you to finally have a community come together? Were there any key moments where you're like, I'm so glad I get to be part of making this a thing?
It's been an amazing journey so far. Having people who share the same ideals with you, same food, which is a big deal, understand what you're going through, and even being able to speak in your local dialect with people, because sometimes you get here and it's only English and you forget that people are here who also can't speak your local language. So it's really been great. We've had some events where we've been to Cape Spear and Signal Hill. We have one upcoming event where we are visiting the rooms to see an exhibit, and just having that community really is amazing, knowing that people got your back and you have a great support system around. And personally, I've really benefited from this collective. I've had people, volunteer to even babysit for me whilst I'm in class, which, I wouldn't have if I wasn't, part of this collective. So it's really been a great experience for me.
I like that you touch on like something as simple as babysitting, because for a lot of folks, one, childcare is an issue on a general landscape, but for a lot of people who are here without those connections to family, childcare becomes this incapacitating thing to kind of overcome. So to know that this collective is not just supporting your educational journey, but building community where you might not have community is super cool to see.
It's very, very interesting. And we've had feedback from the graduate students. Some just come in, and before I go on, we do have like programs like the Community Nights and Writing Circle, and sometimes people just can't seem to find out how to start an assignment.
Yeah.
And within that writing circle, they come, they sit, and we have like a few minutes just to find out how your week is doing. And then suddenly the writer's block that was there is removed.
I wonder what that is.
You know, or someone says, I think it would be great if you do it this way. And we realize, oh, I didn't think about that. And that's really a great help or a resource for me to go through my assignment or the project I have to do. So, yeah.
Okay, so that opens so many more questions for me. So thank you for sharing that. So when I think about it, so for people who are showing up into your space who have no idea what to expect or what they can gain or what they can even give to this community, what would you want them to know?
Like I mentioned, our programs are not just for academic purposes, but also for building community as well. So, like with the Writing Circle, as I mentioned, it's just a space where people come to write, share resources about, you know, academic stuff. It's also a place for us to, you know, have, I would say, a place in academia, being a racialized or a minority group. Our community nights are just for us to come together, share food. We've had, you know, biryani coming on. We are hoping to get some jollof.
Okay. We're gonna pause there. I might not be a graduate student, but I will be part of that food sharing community. Just say it.
And it's not just for students, it's for students and their families. So it's a family-friendly environment where you can come with your family just to have that space or just to take a break from all the hustle and bustle and a whole lot that goes on within the week. So it's a great space for us, for you know, the racialized graduate students and their families as well.
So when you dream of what this collective can be, and when you think maybe 2-3 years down the line, what do you hope to see come from this?
A lot of solidarity, a lot of us you know, extending our equity, diversity, inclusion, anti-racism message out there, extending it beyond the Faculty of Education to other faculties, undergraduates and other faculties and school within Memorial University, and just making it a very big collective within St. John's as well.
Oh my, I just think now sitting there might be so many people who are watching this who are like, I'm not a graduate student, but I want to learn how to make this so that the undergrads have it, so our business faculty has it, so our science faculty has it, who are probably going to be reaching out to you. Yeah. So I guess prep your inbox to be like, hey, Esther, we have questions. How do we get this off the go? And then as you look back on what you have achieved in the time you've existed, were there any moments that you just sat there and you're like, I would never have expected this, but I'm so glad that it's here?
Really, every day I get that feeling, because when we started, it was just 6 members in ED 3007C, just talking about our dreams, talking about bringing racialized students together, talking about how it would be. And that idea just poofed into something big. We've had great support from the Faculty of Education, the Dean, the Graduate Dean. They've been very supportive, giving us the space and, you know, sharing our announcements and information. And the fact that it's caught wind and, you know, we have people joining and asking, can I bring, you know, people from other faculties? Can I bring my family? Can we share this information with other people? It's really been humbling, I would say, that the little idea is now something very big, and we hope to make it even bigger. You know.
So over the course of this, you've mentioned some of the resources that you're able to share, that you share within your community. What do some of those resources look like?
Sometimes it's as little as pointing someone in the right direction. You can get resource maybe at the internationalization office where they didn't know that they could get information maybe about immigration advising. We tell people about maybe using library resources, the writing center. So it's just mostly resources the university offers that people may not know about because we can't advise, but then it's just letting you know that this is a place that you could find an answer to a question you may have. Sometimes it's as little as telling them to go see Tina at the education faculty and she would answer your question for you. So these are some of the things we help, the members with.
So as you say that, all I kind of think of it's like a campus and like a compass and a legend. When someone has a map and they don't know the first way of reading it and they're too afraid to wander into it, it's like you guys are there to be like, hey, I'm like you. Here's my lived experience. Here's how I navigated this. You don't have to go through the pitfalls. Try this path, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
There are things I didn't know of, and then I got to know. So when we've had people come in wondering, okay, I didn't know that, but this is what you can do to find out, or you can go to this room or to this person, or just even send an email, and you should get an answer for whatever question you have.
Okay, so I know that I have a million more questions, and I can spend all day sitting here and chatting with you about step by step, how did this get started? How do people launch it? How do people connect with you? But for our viewers who are watching, who are like, okay, I have those questions too, Laurabel. How do I find out? Where can we find the information about Graduate Student Collective?
The faculty, if you go to the website of the Faculty of Education at MAN, we do have a page there that talks about everything we do, talks about the members, our email addresses are there if you need to reach out. Also, the Facebook page for the Faculty of Education has a lot of information, and the programs that we do are shared there, so you can find out if we have an upcoming program, it's shared there for everyone to see. So, and you can also come find us at ED 3007C. That's where usually we'll meet for our writing circle and our community nights.
Okay, and what nights are the writing circle?
The writing circle is on Wednesdays from 5 to 8, and the community nights are on Tuesdays. From 5 to 8, we are thinking of changing the timing because we realize a lot of students have lectures there. So if it does change, again, it would be on the website for the Faculty of Education and on their Facebook page as well.
Esther, I want to thank you so much, not just for joining me, but for creating a space where racialized graduate students can find a home when they're kind of floating around in Newfoundland and Labrador. So thank you for your time, your efforts, and your energy.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me share the amazing work we're doing.
And we'll be right back, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by Roxana Fazli, who is one of the co-founders of the Expertise Hub here in St. John's. Roxana, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here because I got to attend the opening launch of the Expertise Hub. But for a lot of our viewers, they might not know what it is. So could you let them know how this came to be.
Yes, absolutely. So Expertise Hub is a cooperative organization, as you know, and our model is grounded in the principles of cooperative, which prioritizes environment and social benefit to individual profit. And our mission is to break down systemic barriers that prevent immigrant professionals equitable access to labor market. So our model is based on providing short-term contracted service, so immigrant professionals can showcase their talents, expertise from their home countries. Oftentimes, employers are looking for Canadian experience, and it is difficult for immigrant professionals to provide Canadian experience, because how they can provide this Canadian experience if they are not given a chance, right? So these short-term contracted service model can act as a baby steps for basically employers to get to know the talents, expertise, and wealth of knowledge that immigrant professionals can bring to project, and also immigrant professionals can engage basically in work in the Canadian context, which they can eventually put in their resumes as their Canadian experience. And they can build trust with new employers, right? Yes, so just to put it in context of how this basically works, like imagine we have there is a woman-centered organization looking for some services, some support with their digital marketing. Then the experts in our group will be basically bringing different perspectives. The ones who are working in this project can have like experience in digital marketing, graphic design, videography, and also someone with gender studies background. So they can bring this holistic perspective on the design and delivery of the project. But the cooperative is accountable to keep the standard of the work.
Okay, so for organizations that are listening in and who are interested in this kind of model and how to get involved, what's their first step to even finding out if this is something that would work for them?
Right, yes, absolutely. So I encourage people like who are involved in different organizations. It can be across various sectors and industries, for-profit businesses, governmental agencies, or non-profit organizations. They can have a look at our website, the list of services. They can find a list of services that we offer, and our experts are listed below those services.
Okay.
So there is this kind of like categorization of services and the experts who can deliver those services. So they can basically find those specific areas they are looking to outsource. It can be a niche area that some organizations don't have the capacity to hire full-time employee, but they can basically wrap it up in a 3 to 4 month project. So they can look at our website and see if they can find the services they are looking for.
So for you and your team, as you were working on building this cooperative, what was something that was unexpected as you were building this process together?
Basically, we are following solidarity, economy, principles and praxis. So we want to put in practice something that can build the solidarity of different groups with different perspectives. So the process from the beginning has been a co-creation and co-design model. So we have like differences in perspective, but as we are working together and doing different focus groups, just having conversation around everything, the real concerns we have. For example, one specific area that we are focusing on right now is the credential recognition process. As immigrants, all of us, all of the members involved have lived experiences of navigating the complexities of credential recognition process in Canada. And some of us had to do another degree when we came to Canada, right? So we are very focused in this area. The province doesn't have systematic credential recognition process, and each province, because there are different regulations, need to have its own process. Some people come here, they don't have the Canadian degree or Canadian experience, but they have a lot of experience and education from their home countries. But because those are not recognized, sometimes they have to start all over again and do another degree here, or engage in general or survival jobs, and they lose their skills because it's a matter of how you use your skills, right? So we have been through this co-creation process, and we came up with some initiatives, which we call our strategic initiatives, because they are aligned and serving the same mission that I mentioned in the beginning. Just to put it in context, imagine an architect who comes here with their credentials and background in some Middle Eastern country, and construction is based on concrete, but here construction is based on wood. So most of the time they end up doing another degree or changing their field, while they have a lot of knowledge from different areas of architecture. So if they go through a systematic process that supports them have their credentials recognized, it can be just a number of training they have to complete, some placement opportunities, or access to some mentorship opportunities that can bridge this gap, and they can basically access a full-time employment in their own field. So all of this needs a lot of research to create these pathways and processes, but this will be the first initiative we are involved in and focusing on. But in order to facilitate this, we have started a platform called Reach2 platform. In this platform, users have the opportunity to create accounts, a profile for themselves. Organizations and potential employers from different governmental agencies or for-profit, non-profit sector can have their profiles as well. So this way they can have networking opportunities. They can look for services they need to fill a gap for, while these immigrant professionals can showcase their talents, their research background, or any products and services they can offer. They can showcase on the portal, and at the same time there are other functions of the platform that creates those personalized, customized roadmap to have their credentials, for these people to have their credentials recognized and eventually access full-time employment in their own field.
See, that's amazing to see how you and the team have gotten together to figure out where the gaps have existed for people and how to empower them, not do for them, but give them the resources to build their own bridge to get to where they want to be at the end of the day and what they deem fulfilling for themselves.
Yes, absolutely. And it comes from the lived experiences of our members, right? So we know where the gaps are. And like I said, our model has a strong component of systemic change. So doing a lot of advocacy, it's not just supporting immigrants to navigate their options here or basically showcase their talents. It's just creating this capacity in the system to recognize foreign credentials.
So I have you for about 2 minutes. Before I let you go, I want to know, for those who are now watching who are like, I'm an immigrant professional, I haven't had an opportunity to be connected to fulfilling work that I trained to do, what can I expect if I reach out to the Expertise Hub?
Yes, that's a great question, actually. So if immigrant professionals are now watching us and they are thinking how they can connect I encourage them to send an email to us. Our email addresses are on the website, so they can get connected, and then we can walk them through the process. We'll review the resumes and see in what ways they can basically provide any service or support in basically to be included in Expertise Hub talent pool. And of course, there are another ways that they can get involved. Sometimes they're already engaged in full-time capacity, but we have 2 blog series as well on Expertise Hub website. So one of them is very focused on a specialized field, so they can put like write something about their research background or basically anything related to their own field. And the other one, which we call Diaspora Narratives, is about experiences of immigrants with immigration, about their context, what brought them here, and what they experience here. Can be experiences of isolation, dehumanization, or it can be anything. So I think these narratives are very important, and like I said, we are thinking of a solidarity that recognizes the multiplicity and diversity of individuals. So we want to reflect the experiences of people, and this is I think a great opportunity and channel through which they can basically share their experiences. So I encourage people to get in touch with us and see in what ways they want to get involved.
Roxana, I could spend all day talking to you about this as someone who has immigrated to Canada, who luckily enough was when they were young, but has seen parents navigate this space.
Right.
I know there's a wealth of information you have to share with individuals. So thank you for taking time out of your day. Thank you to you and your co-founders for creating this. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me today.
And we'll be right back, everyone.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
I want to thank all of you for joining me for another episode. I'm so glad that you choose to spend your time with me. I want to give an extra special thank you to my guests for taking the time out of their busy schedules to share the cool projects that they're working on. Thank you so much to Esther and the Racialized Graduate Student Collective and all the work they're doing to create spaces for racialized graduate students. And a very special thank you to Roxana, Fazli, and the Expertise Hub Co-operative for what they're doing to help immigrant professionals gain work experience in their field here in Canada. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you all again next time.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
They've reached the summit! Back-to-back Stanley Cup victories.
Greatness.
And a new legacy begins. Absolutely amazing. It has happened in Vegas.
It's not a destination.
And lightning has struck twice.
It is a continuous journey that never ends.
These are the moments you dream of. Stanley Cup champions.
Sports is life. It's clear cut. Everything's out in the open. There's nowhere to hide. I had to prove myself more than anyone else.
You must be so proud of your son. He's gonna go pro. The sky's the limit.
There's always a winner and a loser.
You cannot reach the sky in broken cleats.
Of course, I always want to be the winner. And I did reach the sky.
Norman Kwok, the first Chinese-Canadian professional football player, still holds records to this day. He retired from the sport in 1960 and later became Lieutenant Governor of Alberta.
After a night out with your friends, not having a plan for a safe